Hey everybody, it's Uyak here, back in another video. With Overlord Season 4 coming out, we have a very similar situation to Made in Abyss where we need to rewatch the series because we've simply forgotten how great this series is. I mean, Season 3 of Overlord came out in July of 2018 and now it is July of 2022 when the new season is going to be released. So now's the best time to rewatch the 3 seasons of Overlord to remember how great this series actually is. And I'm going to tell you how great it is right now. This series is an isekai like many other anime of today's time. But unlike the today's time isekai where it seems like they'll just grab something random like reincarnated as a spider or reincarnated as your mom's fiance or reincarnated as your sibling, or I mean they really just find reincarnated as whatever. They look at the dictionary and they pick the first word they see. I mean, that's what it seems like for these series. I don't really watch them, but tell me if you like them down in the comment. But Overlord is one of these original isekai where it actually has some meaning attached to with the isekai. So our main character in this series is Ainz Oaal Gown. Now, who is Ainz Oaal Gown? Ainz Oaal Gown is an undead character that is renowned for his knowledge. But in reality, I mean, he's just a normal human that's kind of obsessed with video games. All he did in his free time was play video games, but in this role-playing game, Uyak, he's known as this leader, and all these NPCs bow down to him for his supreme knowledge. He's the supreme leader of his guild, but in reality, we see through the dialogue, he's just kind of a nerdy type character, but it's displayed throughout the series as that he's some kind of leader, and he has to adapt to this persona throughout the series. But he spends a lot of free time in this Uyak game, and in the game he has this large powerful guild of a bunch of friends, and unfortunately the game is dead. I mean, this is just a reality of almost every single game released. It's gonna die because the devs don't know what they're doing, right? So the game is dying and the server shutdown is coming up, and unfortunately for our main character, Ainz Oaal Gown, he's the only last playing character in his guild. I mean, that's kind of sad, to be honest, but he stays on the servers until they shut down, and all of a sudden he's not back in his room. He's in this different medieval type world. So this comes as a surprise to him, obviously, and I mean, it's an isekai, so unlike a lot of different other isekai, this one kind of has a nice beginning to it where it kind of tells you a little bit before, but Ainz Oaal Gown is transported into this new world, and this is where the story kicks off. Now, this story is not as great as a story like Made in Abyss or Hunter x Hunter, for example. We're not going to say it's on that level, okay? I'm not just going to say this about every other series, okay? This series that Overlord has the backgrounds and the empathy with these characters. It expands on these characters' thoughts, their emotions, their feelings. You really feel a connection with them. And also Overlord has these mass scale battles where it's just nice watching. I mean, I often find watching this series, I'm eating a bag of popcorn. I don't usually eat popcorn watching anime series or any series, for example. But with Overlord, I feel like I need to eat some popcorn because it just feels epic like that. A good example of this is in the beginning of this series when Ainz sees Karn Village, or Karn Village, however you pronounce it, is attacked by these royal knights and they're getting slaughtered. And Ainz is there and he's looking in, and this offers us a unique perspective into the main character, because usually for main characters in a lot of anime series, you'll see if they see humans dying and stuff, they're like, I need to save them no matter what. I'm going to throw myself in front of them to make sure I save every person. I need to save everybody. Ainz ain't like that, okay? Maybe he was like that before, but when he got reincarnated, this guy's a cold, bro. He does not care about humans. I mean, he's literally watching them die, looking at them like insects. And I mean, this is what makes the series so great. Okay, you don't have your casual main character who, like I said, will throw themselves in front of an enemy to save every single innocent person, even if they're disrespectful to them. Come on, I mean, but we got Ainz who just doesn't care about these humans, which is a good perspective to see. And it really illustrates how it is as an actual undead. So we see this, and essentially this village was being attacked by a separate nation for political reasons, blah, 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 blah. Ainz gets to the flexing part where he flex up on him. He got his right-hand woman, Albedo, Don't even get me started on her, bro. This is another great thing that the series has. I feel like every great series needs a great woman behind it. You feel me? I'm all about woman empowerment. Okay, and this series does it great. There's a lot of empowerment going on here. This is my favorite part about a lot of different isekai, and Overlord is a great example of a series that does this great because he flexes on everybody. But our main character has this kind of, like, I guess kind of quirk where he has to plan for everything. He's kind of paranoid in every single different way that there's someone powerful out there that's trying to manipulate him or something, which is honestly, it might be a good assumption because why was I transported into this world that has to become some kind of greater power that's working with the inner workings of the universe or something that transferred and is watching me or something. But his main fear comes from the fact that maybe other players from Eager Cell transferred in here and he's kind of planning for that. He's not really thinking on that deeper scale. And this series is another great series that doesn't spare the gruesome animation, okay? I like series that really portray what it would actually be like. And if there was a powerful overlord undead, he's going to murder a lot of people. And that's exactly what happens throughout this series, okay? There's a lot of massacres. There's a lot of, you could say, genocides in the series, but the animation simply displays it great. And not only that, it's our understanding with the characters as well. Okay, further down the series, we get a perspective into Sebes. Now, Sebes is a Pleiades. He's a maid of Nazarick. He's not a human, but he's tasked with exploring the city and looking for any leads. And while he's doing that, acting out his orders from Ainz, he notices this woman who's getting mistreated severely, and he can't help but feel empathy for her. And he does everything in his power in order to help this woman. Even if it goes against Nazarick's wishes, he does everything he can for this woman. And this is in complete contrast to Ainz's disregard for humans and where Sebes cares for humans, and it really builds on that empathy aspect of the series. I mean, you really can see through Sebes's perspective here about how this woman is being mistreated by this disgusted man, and I'm sure every guy out there, every person would want to save this woman, and that's exactly what Sebes does. Even more so than that, we see a perspective into the lizard men in the series. I don't think I could ever identify with a reptilian in my life, but this series made me doubt that, to be honest, because I was watching, I was feeling bad for the lizard man, bro. The lizard man. I was like, he just wants to fall in love with this woman. Why do you have to invade them? I mean, this series really makes you care for the characters. Down to Gazif, for example, is another great character. We get a perspective into Gazif. See, he's the main character type of a lot of anime where he wants to save everybody. And we see the reality here. In face of great power, what can you do? The answer is nothing. And that's exactly what happened to Gazif. The man got nothing to weigh. Okay, because you can want to save everybody, but if someone's more powerful than you in every single way, they have more influence, they're stronger than you, good luck. Okay, and this is what Overlord does great. Okay, the fights, not really fights, I would say just wars, and the perspective in the characters are the two things that I would say this series does great, better than any other series that I have seen. Don't take my word for it. Go rewatch Overlord right now and leave a comment and tell me what you think about the series, because this series is simply amazing. And just reading the light novel and know what happens in the future, let me tell you now, the series only gets better from here.